If you wanna be a champion, you gotta do the work. If you wanna be a world dominator, you gotta know your worth. Unleash potential and leave a legacy. Whatever you want, whatever you need, you can find within the coaching seat. If you wanna be a champion, you gotta do the work. If you wanna be a world dominator, you gotta know your worth. Unleash potential and leave a legacy. Whatever you want, whatever you need, you can find within the coaching seat.
Hey, everybody. Listen, I hope all is well. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I just want to make sure I am live on the book. Y'all, listen, when you come in, say hello to me. I want to be able to speak to you, and I want you to share this broadcast out. I don't know. I am supposed to have a special guest, Coach Levon Kirkland, join us, but it looks like he might have gotten hung up. And if that is the case, it is well, because I have a teaching always in my bag. Okay, come on, say she going in the bag. She going inside of the bag. So good evening again, everybody. I am live on Facebook. I am live on LinkedIn and also YouTube. So I hope all is well. Good evening, Shaquille. Thank you so much for joining tonight. All right, before I get started, I want to make a couple of announcements. Number one, my new book is here. It is in the building. Let's see if I can bring it in. It's in the building. I'm super excited about this book. It is a game changer for coaches. Number one, it's going to help coaches to really add value to what they're already doing in the coaching domain. So it's going to give you more tools, more techniques, more skills to elevate your coaching clients. And then I also wrote this for individuals who need to understand how to coach themselves as they are moving through life. Listen, what's going on right now? Life is very uncertain. What else is going on right now? There's a lot of unfavorable things that are happening in the atmosphere, in our environments, and we have to be able to problem solve for ourselves, especially if you can't get with your trusted advisor, your mentor, your coach. You have to be positioned and equipped to coach yourself out of any misalignment that may occur. And let me tell you something, it will occur. All right. So my book is online. It's thecoachingseat.com. I'm going to drop that in the chat so that you can check out the book. It's in the store on my website, and it is going to be a game changer for you. Additionally, you all, we have our coach certification program that is coming up. Facebook is acting funny, y'all. I did get a message that some things were not being broadcasted on Facebook. So hopefully this will be able to stay up there. But we are having another international champion influence certified coach and facilitator program, and that's going to take place in June. So if you're interested in being a credentialed coach, I want you to join us for that program. In the summer, we're trying something new this year. We're going to try to really help educators and student affairs professionals become equipped with the coaching skills and techniques so that they can be better advisors. And let me change that. They can be better partners with the students that they work with to help the students to really explore ways to overcome some of the barriers, some of the personal barriers that students have. I worked in higher education for 14 years. So wait a minute, 14 plus 6, 21 years. So I understand some of the concerns and issues that our students have and what the faculty and staff and educators face as they're working with students. I also worked in in the middle schools and also high school. So I have a clear understanding of that. And so we are being very intentional about this June coach certification program. So if you are an educator, if you are in student affairs and higher education, if you are in the middle and high schools, we want you to join us for this coach certification. All right. So that's happening in June. Just go to the website, thecoachingseat.com. And then, y'all, on April 6th, this is for the entrepreneurs. On April 6th, I'm partnered with Dr. Lynette Dutton, and we are hosting a virtual. So that's going to be online. We'll be on Zoom, a virtual sales and influence boot camp. And so it's going to help entrepreneurs leverage their sales skills and also the influence that they need, that we need. I'm an entrepreneur, that we need as it relates to business. So there's really 4 areas that we're going to deal with. We're going to help you to build a pathway to a dream team, because you have to understand that you can't go it alone. You're not going to be able to be as successful as you want to be, or scale your business, like enlarge the territory of your business, if we don't have people that can go alongside of us. So we're going to teach that. Additionally, you all, we will look at how you turn your connections into relationships, because many of us make connections with individuals, but we don't really get to the point where it's turned into a relationship. And so I'm going to teach that in a place of influence. Hello, Miss Carolyn. Thank you for joining. And then we're going to really deal with how to build the know, like, and trust factor, so that individuals will support you in your efforts of what you're doing. And then, of course, we're going to give you actionable strategies to grow your business in terms of sales. So I'm super excited about that. In order to join that, you just need to go to thecoachingseat.com. Thecoachingseat.com, and we will be on there. You all give me 1 second, because Coach is speaking to me, and so I just want to make sure he has this link that he can join to come on with us. All right. So I'm super excited about that. So I want y'all to get registered, get registered for the sales and influence boot camp, because you need it if you want to expand and enlarge your territory in your business. Okay. So I believe Coach Levon is going to join us, but while he is coming on, let me just check and make sure. He just sent me a message, so I want to make sure. So while he is coming on, I'm going to introduce myself, and I'm probably still going to teach a little bit until he comes on, and hopefully he can make it on. All right. So I am Toyinda Smith. I am a best-selling author, a business coach, and consultant. I am the principal at the Coaching Seat LLC. And what we do in the Coaching Seat is really look to educate individuals, both in the coaching domain, also in the speaking domain, and also in the facilitation domain. New for this year, we're also working with authors, and we're helping them to turn their book into a signature talk, because you need a signature talk. If you're going to be a coach, coaches are speakers, facilitators, and also of course, coaches, but then we have to move into a place of being authors, because when you are an author, you have the ability to show your authority. So we all know that authority starts with author, right? It's a function of it. And so when you are an author, it really does begin to make solid your authority in your expertise and in your domain. All right. So I want to share with you just a little bit from what I wrote in my book, The Handbook to Coach Yourself, using 5 practical steps. Again, it is online. It is at thecoachingseat.com. So if you have an opportunity to grab it, go and grab it. But I want to talk a little bit about what I believe may sometimes get us hung up in terms of reaching our goals, because a lot of times we are very good, you all, at identifying our goals. We're very good at that. And we are good at then saying, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, but sometimes we don't follow through. And as I've shared before, the fortune is always going to be in the follow through. So it's important for us as coaches, as ministers, as consultants, educators, and as people who work with other people, is to help individuals to get to a place of follow through. So in my book, I talk about tending your task. Okay. So this is a part of our SEATS model, SEATS. That's our coaching model. It's a proprietary model that we use inside of our coaching program. But if you buy the book, if you buy this resource, listen, if you buy this resource, the model is in there, and it's going to help you to unlock and unleash your potential, especially when you get into a place where you're in a misalignment or a problem needs to be solved, things of that nature. All right. So I'm going to quickly talk about tending your task, because I think Coach Levon is trying to get on, but we'll wait for that, but I'm going to teach. So when you are working towards your goal, your vision, your dreams, you have to be able to identify how you're going to progress forward. Okay. So in this space, when you begin to tend your task, that simply means that you are directing your actions. Come on. You're creating a place of traction, right? So you're directing your actions to the goals that you have set up. Okay, am I making sense here? I just want to make sure I'm making sense. So you have to put yourself in a place where not only have I identified my goals, but I've also identified the action steps that I'm going to take in order to reach the goals. So you have to create a level of traction. That means that I am stuck to the goals that I am after. And here it is. You have to understand your why. You have to understand what's causing you to go after the goal, because listen to this, the pressure in the pursuit then becomes worth it. When I understand why I am going after a goal, or what is causing me to go after a goal, then I'm going to keep pursuing. Listen to me. It's going to be a relentless for Toy. It's going to be a relentless pursuit of the goal. So I might cry a little bit in my bathroom, but listen, let me tell you, I'm going to wipe my tears and I'm going after the goal. So you have to understand your why. So we're talking about tending your task. Okay. So we're talking about tending your task, and what this simply means, and you all need to get the book, The Handbook to Coach Yourself, because it's going to help you through whatever we're going to deal with in our future time. Okay. So you have to see what's going on and understand the times and the seasons. You have to understand what's going on around you, and you have to understand what the powers that be, okay, the people that makes decisions, in these United States of America, you have to understand what's not being said. So you have to prepare yourself. Okay. You have to prepare yourself. So anyway, when we're talking about tending our task, this makes clear the route you're going to take to get to your strategy or to get to some of your vision. Okay. Now this is the part where, we get into a gut check. For those of you all who may be towards the ending part of the book, this is gut check time, because this is where you have to have an evaluation and test your own resolve. Can you put that in the chat? Listen, I got to test my resolve. I got to test my resolve. So we need to understand if you're going to be, listen, there used to be a song called Bout It, Bout It. That's them guys out of Louisiana. Listen, are you going to be bout it or what? When times get hard, when the pressure is on, are you going to push back and add more pressure? So you have to get yourself in a place where you have a resolve connected to the work that you're going to do, the action that you're going to take, the traction that you're going to have towards your goals. All right, so this is gut check time. So it's going to evaluate. You're going to evaluate who you are and what kind of commitment you have, and how you're going to set up your priorities as it relates to the specific course of action. And one thing that I talk about in my book that you have to be very aware of is that you created the strategy. And so there's going to be some things that could get in the way. Okay. So the strategy is in place and it is real cute. Listen, you have strategy on your vision board, right? Or wait, not strategy. You might have the objectives on your vision board, and then you looked at that and you created the strategy. But now we're in a place where you got to do something, where you have to do some work and not allow individuals. Listen, wait a minute, nouns, a person, place, or things to get in the way. And this is where you can check in with yourself and say, hey, do I have the strength, the might in order to say no to people who get in the way? So you have to ask yourself and answer it too. Since we coaching ourselves, you have to ask yourself what hindrances may get in the way of me accomplishing my goals. That's a coaching question that you're going to have to ask yourself if you are going to reach your goals. Because gone are the days of us blaming somebody else for what we should be doing. Yes, there are real roadblocks in the way. Yes, there are policies and structures and laws that are in the way. But I need to tell you that we are in environments that are restrictive, but then also very limitless. There's always an answer. And listen, we believe that there's always a way. So you have to understand what hindrances may get in the way of you accomplishing your goals. Okay. And then you have to say to yourself, listen, ask yourself this question and answer it. Since you're coaching yourself, we're talking about coaching, self-coaching skills. You have to then ask yourself, what must I do to still reach my goals? Even if there are distractions, even if there are emotional interferences, and even if I am operating in a place of limiting beliefs, they're lingering around me, but there's still an answer in order to reach your goals. Are y'all following me? I hope y'all following me. I don't see Coach Levon, so he may be having trouble getting on. So I'm going to keep teaching about this tending the task. Come on. It's a gut check. It's a gut check. Do you have resolve? Can you make it happen when the chips are stacked up against you? Can you still push through? Can you still break through? Can you still hurdle the barrier so that you can get to the goal? All right. So, because we're not blaming these external distractions, we're canceling that. Right. We're identifying them and we're going to put a strategy in place to cancel that. And then we're not dealing with internal distractions, which have everything to do with what we're doing. Right. All right. So when you are tending your task, it's important to understand that you are going to have to understand when is the best time for you to get the task done. Y'all, this is good to me. Okay. So when exactly is the best time for you to get your task done? That's a question that you're going to have to also answer for yourself. Nobody's going to be able to answer that for you. You know whether you are most effective in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. So as individuals come on and as individuals catch this replay, you have to understand, when are you at your best? When are you at your best? I know that I'm at my best mostly in the later part of the afternoon and the evening, although I am trying to kind of switch that up a little bit. But I know that if push comes to shove, then I know when I can get work done, and I know when my creativity flows. And I talk about this in my book, The Handbook to Coach Yourself. It's on my website, thecoachingseat.com. So what I understand is that researchers suggest that we all have what's called a circadian rhythm. The circadian rhythm, and it's described as the 24-hour natural internal clock that controls our alertness. Let me make sure we're still on, because I think Facebook may be acting up, but it controls our alertness, you all. It also controls our when we're sleepy, and it also controls some of the functions for when we need to complete essential tasks and some processes that we may go through. Okay, so we're talking about the circadian rhythm, and you have to understand that when you are tending your task, when you are doing the work, when you have placed traction into the action that you are doing, you have to understand when you are most effective. I hope I'm helping somebody tonight. Y'all get it for free. Y'all get this teaching for free. So, and also it's in the book. Get the book. It's $20. Get this book, okay? So you have to understand that you have a circadian rhythm, and that your body is set up to produce at certain times. And so your circadian rhythm may call for you to be at your best in the morning. It may call for you to be at your best in the afternoon, and then sometimes late at night. So the key here, the key to being successful when you are tending your task, is knowing when to implement the strategy. Oh, I just need to pause for maybe a minute. Maybe I need to just pause for a minute. Do you know when is the best time for you to get work done? I'm just asking, do you know when is the best time for you to get your work done? Because once you find out when the best time is, you're going to be able to receive remarkable results. It's going to be remarkable results because you're going to see yourself being productive, being very effective and efficient, because you understand your circadian rhythm and when you get your best results. Again, I want you to go online to thecoachingseat.com and grab this book, because I talk about all of this in my new book, The Handbook to Coach Yourself. But you have to make the investment. There is a book called When, and the author talked about an experiment that happened in a German steel factory. I talked about this with some students that I spoke to, I think on Tuesday, about my book at Coker University. But we talked a little bit about the timing of when you get things done. And again, I think this is very valuable especially if you're working with students, especially if you're working, if you're supervising individuals, I think it's very important to understand when people get good results. So there was an experiment that happened in a German steel factory, and two chronobiologists rearranged the work schedules to match workers' circadian rhythms. I want you to listen to the research. Hey, Auntie, I want you to listen to the research, because it makes sense. The research is not lying. Statistics don't lie. And then you know when you get your best results. So the chronobiologists went in and rearranged the work schedules to match the workers' circadian rhythms to their normal work schedules. And what the researchers found was that when they made those intentional adjustments with the worker's schedule, the workers were more engaged. I love this, y'all. They were more empowered and more enabled, as indicated by an increase in their productivity. It was a reduction of stress levels that they found, and then it was higher job satisfaction. So you have to know and you have to understand when is the best time for me to get to my remarkable results. So listen, that is all I have for you all tonight. But it looks like Coach Levon could not get on, and it is well. We'll try to reschedule him another time. But I really do trust that what I talked about in terms of, and I'll have to go back and change this title, but what I talked about in terms of tending your task, this is the place where you have to have a gut check. You have to have traction added to everything that you're doing, so that your action plan comes to fruition. Come on, so that there's fruit that remains. And a part of you keeping that traction, taking action in that space, is being able to understand when you get your best results. When do you get your best results? As you can tell, I am wired right now at 9 p.m. Okay. So you have to understand when you get your best results. And that's when you are or should be doing your most of your work, right? That's going to be most of your productive time frame. All right. So know what is going on with your circadian rhythm. That is something that we're wired. And again, don't forget that the research shared that, when you work in the timing of where you get your best results, then you're going to be more productive. You're going to be a little more happier and very creative in that time frame. So I'm Toyinda, and I just really gave you a coaching tip that equips, and that tip is to understand your timing. Understand your timing. So I'll go back and change the title of this broadcast. Again, I want to invite you to our virtual sales and influence bootcamp. It's happening April 6th. This is all about leveraging sales skills and influence in entrepreneurship. You can go to the website to tap into this. Don't forget, my book is here. It is on my website, thecoachingseat.com. So check it out. I just talked to you a little bit about a strategy of what I do, and also what you can do to help you to coach yourself to get your remarkable results. We are hosting our International Champion Influence Coach Certification and Facilitator Certification Program in June. It is going to be an online program. So if you're interested in that, we are going to focus on the higher education professionals as well as teachers, so educators in that realm. But it does not mean that other individuals can't come into the certification program, because when we certify you to coach, to be a coach. So you become a practitioner of coaching. Okay. So that's happening in June, and I'm super excited about it.
If you wanna be a champion, you gotta do the work. If you wanna be a world dominator, you gotta know your worth. Unleash potential and leave a legacy. Whatever you want, whatever you need, you can find within the coaching seat. If you wanna be a champion, you gotta do the work. If you wanna be a world dominator, you gotta know your worth. Unleash potential and leave a legacy. Whatever you want, whatever you need.